Hi guys, happy Friday. How's everybody doing? Welcome, Metaphysical Mama. Thank you so much for coming to hang out. It's been a little bit. There's been so much happening, right? The energy, like I said, like the title says, is right. Lit. And right? Things are going down. Things are happening, Soul Tribe. So I've been working on I've been doing like a lot of different stuff, working on some like coding and website stuff. And, at the same time, not because, the energy's a little funky. 111. So although I'd like to do a lot of things right now, there's a lot of things I'm being guided to not put my energy into because, right, it's like, it's like if you were planning on going to the beach and there just happened to be a storm that day. So now we have to change plans, right? 1212, 133. Confirmation numbers, key. So welcome if this is your first time. This is a metaphysical channel. So I channel information through Holy Spirit and Source. However you would like to word or term or define those things is up to you. As it says in most of my, if not all, videos, kindly take what resonates and leave the rest. This is about accepting our shadow and light side, masculine and feminine. This is a master twin flame alchemy class / station / channel. So if you get triggered easily, that's still okay for you to be here. Just be prepared that the words that come out of my mouth may not be to your liking, and they may trigger you, and they may make you feel and think in certain type of ways. So learning how to deal with the ugly things we feel and think inside when someone else triggers us with the word, a word. What does a word of vibration do to us inside? Right? How does it make us feel? How does it make us think? What thoughts does it bring up? Our past experiences, it may trigger some nasty feelings and thoughts, right? Or good ones. Good, it could be nostalgic, or it could be like, ugh, right? 309, 311, 313. So everything is vibrational frequency, right? Including the numbers that get right shouted out as I'm in the midst of speaking of something else, because they're all right. Like Einstein said, everything is relative, right? 331, meaning, and everything is in the what is in the relative field. What is in the magnetic field, right? If you can close your eyes and in your mind envision like this huge field that expands as you breathe or as you close your eyes, then you can kind of, right, this is right where how we kind of reverse the pole so that we're witnessing ourselves and looking from inside out, right? So within, so without, as above, so below. But we have to take a look at what's floating around outside in the field, in the magnetic field. So if we close our eyes, then we can, right, expand our ability to observe within the mind. If we have our human eyes opened, right, then it's like our eyes are always recording, like how I'm recording right now. Hi, right? And you could see me now that, right, and you're watching this, right, with your eyes. If you, right, don't do this while you're driving, only if you're safe, etc. I shouldn't even have to say these things, 441, but I will, right? So just a disclaimer, 444, right? Discernment, right? Don't do things that, right? Does it feel like you shouldn't be doing so? Like, oh, should I close my eyes when I drive? Probably not. So discernment, right, would be like, not right now. I can do that part later, or I can rewatch this later and do this, right, practice, or do it when I stop driving, or when I, right, etc. So that's part of discernment, right? That's just an example. So as we go deeper into ourselves to retrieve our souls, because this is soul retrieval, and right, acknowledge, we're diving in, poof. So you got to dive deep into, right, like if you ever watch Ralph Smart and Infinite Waters, he always says, right, diving deep. So he'll get right, and you're gonna go dive deep into the waters, right? Say what's what, like, hey, we're all have different vibrations here. So it's like, great, if you go to the beach, different than if you go to the pool, different than if you go to the bar, the club, or the right. So we all may have relative things in common. However, we all have a different place we're at where we're bringing other people's souls, entities in to, right, like, hey, right, they like, and we're all doing this with each other, right? It's like if you're in an amusement park, right, the different rides that you can all choose to go on when we're all there, right, or whatever have you, where you want to go on vacation, we all may pick a different place, right? So it's like, we're gonna go to my you're gonna go to one of my brother's houses or one of my sisters and vice versa, or they may send you to my house, right? In my house. Now, does that mean my physical house? No. Right? It's like we're cosmically connecting, we're connecting in the zodiacal chart. Like that's why a lot of others do, right? Astrology, etc. Like if you, my website was starting to be up. It's like I have some help, but like I said, it's a little, so as we go, and it's like two different names. So we're all aware as we're all going through all this stuff, you know, with the master manipulator magician shit going on, right? Which is just like switcheroo, kangaroo, hop, hop, hop. You know, that was them. No, it was me. No, it's not. Type stuff, right? So whatever. 711. So like as we keep going through, hopping along the bunny trail, it is what it is. If I even have to change my name from Metaphysical Mama due to all the identity theft and whatever else is going on, so be it. It's not a big deal. I've had to change my name and reinvent myself before, right? So whatever. It's like, you want my name that bad, you want my whatever, you want to play with all that, then go ahead. You take your little, it's like Titanic. Remember when Rose leaves, what's that dude's name? Cal? And he's like a dick, right? And she ends up having Leonardo DiCaprio, Jack, right? Paint a picture of her or draw a picture of her naked with the big necklace on, right? The heart of the ocean, naked. And then puts it in the safe with, I don't know, money or whatever. It was like, that's what you want, right? There's a picture of me to remember me by, and you want it, so that's what you want so bad. I'll eat, right? And I'm out, like, right? Don't even, like, yeah. Deuces. Cutting them looses. Loosey gooses. Right? So as we have, right, Queen of Swords here. So letting go what no longer serves us. And that doesn't mean in any way with like malicious intent or like, oh, now you go get what you deserve. Now you're going to get your karma. Everybody's dealing with balancing masculine and feminine energies and positives and negatives. A lot are just experiencing now for their first time dark night of the soul. So those of us that have gone through it and like are a little more accustomed to it, right? We're a little more veteran there here. Yo, remember what it was like for you having no one. And that's why we went through this first. I got goosebumps, 906, so that we could 909 help others, 911, go through a little bit more gentler with grace, even though it's going to be a bumpy ride. It's like if you're going to go get surgery, it's going to be scary. But we're here and we're going to make sure to the best of our ability that you're okay. You have to keep telling yourself you're okay. It's like it's a bad dream. So we have bad, right? Not bad, but negative thoughts and feelings that come up and cloud our right vision and make us feel and think in certain negative manners. Right? And all these words I'm using are key words. Right? If I used them in a different manner, the energy would come out in a different vibrational form. And sometimes we don't need to use full sentences. There's a lot of children that are here that are autistic and on the spectrum, right? Which are rainbow children. And a lot of them are here to show humans that there's many more languages than writing, talking, yapping, repeating, copying, saying, etc., trying to imprint other people's stories and call it history constantly and take control of the narrative and direct it and force it down everybody's throat and in everyone's face and right, etc. 1221. Oh, and yo, the reason I wrote too that it's lit. Yeah, wait, a few things. Did you all see what the fuck? All right, is this a joke narrative? Why did Biden take COVID relief money? Why was I rejected? Right? Okay. We take care of it. I take care of it elderly as far as human and physical plane goes, right? Planes, dimensions, or multi-dimensional light beings vibrating, right? 1122, right? Vibrating very high in a physical form. How many light years did it take for us to come from the stars to be here and grow into a physical body, however which way that is? Or you could have started physical first, and now you're connecting to your star system ancestry, because we're all human here, right? We're all walking around in human skin. So it's like with the, you ever see like in ancient, right, mythology and what have you, there's centaurs. So some have animal bottom half, meaning that their lower chakras are more activated. Okay. Which, don't forget, the gut is a completely different system than the physical body. So the gut, okay, right? That's like the soul, the son and the father, the crown chakra, okay, are constantly in communication, just like 1221 and 1222. Just like the stomach and the brain. It's like, I'm hungry, or right? The stomach controls gut, the gut controls lust, hunger, right? The ghost, the host, the hostess with the mostest. Mm-hmm. And then the physical flesh, right? This is our devil suit, so to speak. It's right. So when we're in our five senses, we're right, like, what do we want? What do we, right? When we're talking, we're losing our, we're right, is different than when we're silent, kind of in a meditation, speaking, coexisting with spirit and the collective, and right, which is also different than, you know, those that are in the astral plane. I think I might project there, but I don't like, because this like everything's black to me, so I don't see, yeah, until someone vibrationally explains something to me now, right? Then it kind, and it's like, is the vibration in tune or not? So that's why all those of us that come from, say, triple darkness, right? It's like from the dark into the light, and then whatever's been here vibrating while we've been in, right, like hibernation time or whatever, or on the other side. Because don't forget too, we're a binary star system. And like my amazing other, yeah, higher conscience other half, right, like, and which is like, this is where we get into like, it's like, oh, right, they love me not, they love me, they're gonna try to kill me. They love me, they're on everyone else's side, everyone else knows but me. So you go through all these crazy, it's like Wonderland, right? Don't forget the Jabberwocky. So this is very Neptunian and Saturn, which Saturn is either, right, the bipoles, bipolar is either no boundaries, like Pluto, no boundaries, and right, and then Mars, force, or Saturn, Big Daddy, right, the other side of that pole, the opposite side, the duality, right, yin and yang, positive, negative, not a color, white and black. It's positive and negative forces. So it's either pretty much negative is like, or right? There's, yeah, I'm like, or is positive what? Yeah, no, positive is force. Negative is like stagnant until the positive come around again, because first magnets, right, repel. Then they're going to turn poles. That's why the poles shifted so long ago and come flying toward one another. That's how we got our first, right? Bang, big bang. Then we have the sign of the cross. Those two poles came together. That's also the center of our earth, right? And we have then explosion. So now we have four. We have fire and a surge, which then creates a circle. So now we have a form around the two masculine, which is a positive and negative force, which one had, right, was just, while the others create making, the other was just in la la land until it got turned around and started getting, right, then and which is like what's our right, first flamers, twin flames in the first wave and what have you, right? When we got like ejected and flung into 1616, another fucking parallel universe, and we're like, where the fuck are we? We ain't in fucking Kansas no more. And who the fuck are all these people? And all the people I know are like all in weird, they're not, I don't know what's happening with them or me and all this stuff, right? So, and then you go through all this stuff, like either biblically, you start biblicky, whatever gets brought to you. It could be mythology, it could be books, it could be music, it could be different forms of knowledge in all four, right? The tree of knowledge of good and evil coming to you, right? At lightning speed, 5G, right? 5th generation. Anything is happening, right, on the ground, or that we're being told, like, here's the name of the story, like, here's the buffalo. So what do you think when you see buffalo? I got Bob Marley playing in the background too. But chase those crazy bald heads out of town. And there was a huge amount of police officers and DEA and all this shit just a little while ago. That's why I was like, it's lit. Yo, it's happening. Like, what's happening on the ground is happening all around in different planes. Don't forget, as above, so below, or so below as above, or in the middle, right? Heaven and earth is like what goes up must come down. They operate with gravity. If we come before gravity, and now we're also here after. So now we're incorporating what was, what is, and we're balancing everything out. So it's not about right, wrong, you're this, I'm that, blah, 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 I'm gonna get you with a fucking bat and blah, blah, blah. No, 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 no. And people that are coming from, right, like how long have, like, people been, it's like, look, a lot of shit go on in the astral plane and then whatever. So it's a lot of shit talking. Deal with shit talking. You need to be able to deal with shit talking. If it's not coming from someone's heart and with intent and like, ugh, right? It's like, and especially those of you that have caused karma and have been playing that 1818, playing that fucking game of Tweedledee and Tweedle fucking dumb, and then Tweedle dumber and Tweedle fucking dumbest. That shit with altering and messing around, putting your fingers in stirring pots and mirror, whatever all that is. And you all know who you are and what the fuck I'm talking about. So whatever all that is, yo, you know you got the messages very long ago to stop what you were doing and put everything back. Whatever you switched, whatever you took, whatever you're holding on to, you were told to put it back and let go. You were definitely told. Because they're confirming right now with me. Yeah, you definitely, absolutely got the fucking message multiple times. 1909, 1911. Right? So it's like, hey, 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 hey. And then, right, now you're going to start having things that are going to watch you. And they are watching us too. And we're aware they're watching us. And thank you for all that are, and to keep us safe. And we're watching, we got your back too. It's like, right, you get what you give. Then the running and the running away, the running and the running and the running away. But you can't run away from yourself. You can't run away from yourself. Is the, you know, and it's like, again, it's like kind of like, tag, you're it. So then you got to deal with it. So you got to look yourself in the mirror. You're going to see, right, we're all reflections of one another. So that's the Luciferian, right? The reflections. So when someone's bouncing off at us, it's like that's part of us too. It may be something that we may have not acknowledged within ourselves yet, or right, like I'm not that. I don't. Right. So but it's like, okay, hold on. But maybe that's something I haven't allowed myself to discover about myself because I've been like, oh, it's bad. Right. So it's like, okay, so I don't have to jump. I don't have to prove anything to any of them. I'm just getting presented with, right? It's like a summons. I'm getting presented with something that might make me feel a little distasteful in my mouth. It might bring up negative thoughts and feelings that I may feel toward the person, place, or thing that's bringing that vibration into my atmosphere, into my being, into my waters. It's like, hey, what do you think you're doing? Right? Hey. So we feel like we're being intruded and right upon. And now I'm going to ask you to take a look at how long do you think, I'm going to say Black people meaning, and you know, don't come out with your skin color as far as, because yeah, sure, we're all going through and have gone through slavery, but there's something different with women and children and Black men and women, right? Like there's a lot, there's stereotypes with everything. This is so bad. This is gonna, like, I hate talking about this kind of shit because it's like, right, all this political, but this is what we need to talk about. Putting ourselves in the position of others. By doing that, in the mind, right? So it's like, how do those people feel? They have to walk around all the time, and whether they've gone to school or not, they can't. Is their skin color bad or any better or worse than any other? Absolutely not. You know, there's like a lot of like, well, I hated having red hair when I was little and being flat chested and having freckles and right I used to have like, when I was younger, I had like rough elbows, and I remember like being like, I don't know why they're like that. I hate it. I was like, I don't know, like I don't know why they're like that. And my knees and my elbows, and now they're like soft as a baby's butt. But because we all go through like, right, as we get older, we get a little more comfortable in our bodies. Now it's like my hair is more strawberry blonde, and I wish it was a little more, not what, I don't like that word, but now I wish it was a little more red again, right? And of course I can dye it or play with it, but you know, but when I was younger, I hated it. It was like I'm the only one with like fucking fire engine red fucking hair, like orange head. You know, so there's stuff to be said about being different and having to get used to being, right, the odd man out, the black sheep, and however many capacities that may be, right? And I've had to deal with that, right? Right, in many different forms. To being a tattooed mother, grown, you know, in a town where, you know, it's like Stepford wife. But once people get to know, it's like, right, people are people, and once people get past what they think you are, or what they assumed you were, or what they thought, or how they felt originally, because it made them feel right, or right, because, and I can feel that, I've felt that way too. That's why, right, it's like, because we all, it's like we have to admit to ourselves the negative things that we feel like when we do, not, oh no, I don't. Stop doing that. And stop patronizing and fucking brown nosing. That's a big thing in the collective. This morning, I like four calls, all about the same shit. Same dirty brown nosing. So those people are like a lot of our favorite people, which it makes a person very conflicted within, because it's like that one's usually my favorite person. But when I have a conversation with them, I keep noticing, or when I'm observing them having conversations with others, they change their tune, or they say whatever somebody else wants to hear. right? Being a people pleaser, right? That's called, which I've had again, I can relate because I've had a problem with that my whole life, trying to make everybody happy. And then we don't allow ourselves to feel that we deserve. And this can come from long stemming, right? Abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse, physical abuse, etc. Okay. The way that we've been programmed, and it's not others' fault either. Nobody comes with a goddamn fucking instruction book that is, we have lots of instruction books, but it takes time to learn and incorporate anything into our being, right? Like driving. At first it's scary. And then once you learn how, we don't even have to really think before we blink, right? We don't have to think before we try to put a blinker on. It just becomes, we can do multiple things, right? Multi-dimensional, at once it becomes part of us. Right? Just like how we're programmed now to like, right? Oh, I'm hungry. Let me go eat something. Let me go grab something to eat. And then to shove, right? Fat, sugar, carbs, just stuffing. Think of that as you're making yourself a fucking stuffed animal voodoo doll, right? To be programmed and played with and mind controlled, etc. Because your body's like, what right, what do I do with this? And by the time it's done processing and absorbing any nutrients or minerals that will actually do anything to help it, right, give energy. Because when we eat, a calorie is either giving you energy or fat, not both. It can't do both. So we're either eating fat, we're either making fat, storing like the cloud, iCloud storage, all right? Like the big eye in the sky. So we're either feeding the big fat blob, and he doesn't have to be that. But that's like if I have a child and I keep feeding them candy and I keep letting them be a brat and I keep giving them their way and I keep letting them get their way when they stomp their feet and they don't have respect when I'm on the phone or when we go out somewhere or when people come over or they act a fool, right? They break the, you know, it's like, oh, no. There's right, a mother, no. Absolutely fucking not. And no, absolutely not would I beat you. There's just absolutely, will I if I have to, after you've been asked past the third time, and now we're on 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Oh, no. If I have to, I will grab you by your ear, your arm, if we're in and we will walk out. And that's the end of that. I don't care. No. You're going to learn how to have manners and be respectful on some level. And so like, I speak like sarcastic and like raw and real and what have you. However, my whole life and any teacher or anybody else as rebellious or not in line as far as not being a commoner, not being a white sheep, being a black sheep, right? Goes. I have never been a disrespectful motherfucking bitch that has like yelled at my teachers or started fights or like ganged up and like it was like a mean girl or whatever. Never have I had my moments where I've definitely, right, like lost my temper throughout time and space and like my human life experience. Yeah. And you know when those times have been? After I've been so nice and given people chance after chance after chance after chance after chance after chance. And then after all the abuse, you finally have to make a stand. And then, rah! You're not going to take it no more. So then those people are going to call you abusive. Then those people that are abusive are going to say that you blah, blah, blah. They're going to start to tell you that you are crazy. You don't know what you're talking about because they're used to feeding off your energy or they're used to you being an okie dokie. People pleasing, brown nosing. Okay. Like everybody that's just following what the media say with no truth to it anyhow. Anyway. So we can make it rhymey day, right? So if we're just, it's like, okay, but now what are you basing those facts on? Just the cover of the book? You were just presented with a title and with other people saying something. That's like going to the thrift shop, which most of those people that are listening to the mainstream media saying that the Republicans and Democrats and red and blue and white and black and better or worse and whatever and all that fucking bullshit that they want to take to their corpse in the hearse with all the money that so they can go back to, right? They just need to get a shot and a vaccine card. Ew, boo, boo, whatever. Hello. Obviously, you can see I'm not for any of that because we've been doing this for a long time, which again, it's not like it's not all false. I'm not saying that either. I'm just saying it's very sad and pathetic how many people are so easily swung back and forth by whatever Satan throws out of the piñata, right? Or the witch in the woods. It's like, right? Come on, come eat more candy. Come get a shot. And so many just go right for it. And I'm not talking about everybody, because if you have discernment, you know who you are and whatever, that's okay. Some people needed that. Some people, again, a dolphin's going to eat different than a shark, than a chicken, than a fox, than a wolf, than a gorilla, which is vegetarian, and look how big and muscular they are, along with elephants and horses and what else? So many, right? It's like, I think a fucking, my knees are killing me. And rhinoceros, imposterous, or hippopotamus. Hippopotamus is also vegetarian, vegan. So many huge muscular animals. Why? Because they're not eating fat. They're eating for, why do we eat? For energy. If we're eating other than that, it's emotional eating. Like if I decide I'm going to eat like, right, a fudgy the whale, a cake, and you see how I said a fudgy the whale cake, because if I'm gonna go in, I all in. I'm like, let's see how much we could eat. Ugh, I know I'm gonna get stomach ache. I love ice cream cake, but can I eat it like a lot? Absolutely not. The last time I had it, I don't even have recollection or memory. Like, well, I do, but it was like 3 or 4 years ago. Have I had ice cream since then? Yeah, but I haven't devoured a whole fudgy the whale cake except for the tip of the tail since then. I shared a little with Uncle Papa Joe. He got like a part of the head, I think, and I finished the whole rest of the fudgy the whale. Jonah. Wow. Jonah and Judas. Look up the metaphysical meaning to both of those names. Nami Drama. So I'm so happy that you came to hang out. Please hit the like, that little like, the little thumb there, a little bing-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling, up or down, either way, right? Up is down, down is up. The energy serves, right? It's like, cool. I may not agree with all you say, but I appreciate you're taking the time and energy to be right up here, and like, so I can watch, like, no matter whether I like somebody or not, or I'm like vibing, like, I only watch what I'm, it's like, if it's like not, it's like, nah, then it's not for me. I don't have to judge it. It's like, it's just not the right one. So, right, it's like, it ain't the right song. It ain't the one I want to listen to right now. When somebody else is like, well, why? You don't like them? Is it because they're whatever? Not in my world, but if your world's like that, that's okay. It just means you still have some more inner work to do. Why don't you start? I know, now, today. Yay! Friday! Ding! So please like, subscribe, and hit the bell. It's a wonderful ding. Energy is everything. What's money? You get paid at a job, an ob, to turn your knob, to get your knob turned, right? You get paid at a job for your time and energy, correct? So when like draconian, vampire, parasital, etc., and those are just words we use because humans do it. We all do it. We all are feeding off of one another constantly, right? Like, I'm about to light my cannabis sativa right now. And it's like, also, the stuff that's going to be on the website, or if you want to connect with me, please email me, metaphysicalmamma@gmail.com. I'm not really great at, like, but I'm on it now. I'm a little, Uncle Papa Joe's still in the hospital. He got COVID. He got a bunch of stuff going on. So say some prayers and send some love. Because sometimes our tyrannical old Viking, Odin, grandpa, uncle, best friend, son, fathers, and mothers and family, They just grew up with some shitty, in a shitty environment without the proper tools. But that's why, because they've been busy here building from the ground up. So a little bit of respect might be nice rather than like, and whatever. It's like if people come from different walks of life, like who built the railroads and all that? But the don't turkey and turn them in a donkey. You know, a lot of Asian people were here building our railroads. Oh, and to go back to again, because like a lot. This is what's going to be coming up, right? Like that Auberry case. So there's time is fluid. If you look at time as like one big hair going down a big ocean, like a big jellyful ocean, right? Because time is the amniotic sac within Gaia's womb. Right? It's the womb / tomb. So the tomb of Mother, Father, God, and also the womb, which if Mother, Father, God is right, an androgynous being, right? And like my daughter said, the word gay means happy, right? Being prideful of your color, because we're hues of man, right? Hue man. Right, when people get so offended within about what nationality or religion or color of skin, right, that has to do with what, you know, people keep using the excuse like, oh, Democrat, Republican, I'm this, I'm that, I'm from here, these people did whatever to my heritage, my ancestors. Okay, up until this point, if that's right, that's the base knowledge that we've acquired, that you've, right? So now to dive a little deeper and be willing, just be willing to expand that thought that you're not what you thought, right? Because you know what a thought is. You know what they say a thought is now as language changes, right? As like the first job was prostitute. Now they use the word thought, right, as meaning, right, it's a hoe. A thought's a hoe. So too much like thinking, right? Like Abe Lincoln, like Lincoln Logs, stinking thinking. It's like shitting out of our head, right? Why is everyone wearing masks? Because of all the bullshit that's like, it's like farts and stuff that's being blah, 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 blah. Again, earlier in the video, I was talking about autism and the autistic spectrum and what have you. A lot of those rainbow baby star seeds are here to show the adult humans that are children of God that, hey, we got many more languages. Right? We speak from the heart. We speak with telepathy. There's many more senses than the 5 in 3D, right? Which again, Republican, Democrat, red, blue, those are like 3D glasses, right? Operating on the system of money, which is IOU, right? AEIOU. And then when you run out of money, right, then what did they, now they got credit. Where, you know, credit cards were developed. You know how that system was started? At slaughterhouses or at, not slaughterhouse, where they, the auction, where they do the auction, for and it was for, yeah, for cattle and what have you. So that's why I just like say the slave ring, the sex trafficking ring, pornography ring, children trafficking rings, organ trafficking rings, right? The merchant, etc. The rings that bring all the, right, Odin and the 9 realms of the tree of Jaziel, or heaven and hell, right? That's heaven and earth. That's not hell. That's heaven and earth. And if you made it here now, congratulations, because you're in hell. Right? So, but what were we told about hell? What's our perception? Oh, what do we think? I want to go to heaven. But whoa, if you read the Bible properly, it says Holy Spirit is not in heaven. So we do have to go through reincarnation over and over and over and over and over and over until we have like a full rainbow spectrum. This isn't quite a full rainbow, this isn't right, but we have to gather many hunters and gatherers, many vibrations of ourselves so that we have life experience. So it's like, oh wait, I know who I am now. I'm starting to get a little bit, you know, more comfortable in my skin. I'm starting to like, I'm not so, right? Oh, I'm this and they're that, or they're that and I'm not that, or I'm this and right. But we're still have patience with yourself because this is a process. It's not something we can just turn on and off like a light, right? It takes time and space and patience. You know, anything that any sin we've been living in or acting out in vibrationally, right? Which we all use all of them. So if I have 7 sins on one hand, then I have to have 7 virtues on the other, right? So that's and I'm in the middle. So depending on the decisions I make with my free will, because I'm a independent thinker and I have the ability to have discernment. Otherwise, I'm saying I'm lost at sea. I still need a president and I made a vote and I need them to dictate and govern me. So who are you letting govern you? Or are you a free thinker and an independent thinker? Or because this is about behaviors, the energy that we're in within our own skin that we produce and are living in, right? That we're sending out and that we're absorbing and that we're allowing our waters to vibrate in. It's like if, you know, you want to take a bath, how long do you want to sit in the bathtub? You want to go swimming, it's fun to get in the water, but then it's like, okay, now I want to get out of the water. You want to stay in the water. So we change the vibration we're in, right? So becoming aware of that is, you know, again, right? It's like our mind may feel one way and right, we may be thinking one thing, but then inside we're like, yeah, but I really, right? It's like, I can't stand when they do that, but I really do love them. They're so annoying if they do that again, right? But inside, right? So our moon is conflicting with our sun. How we think, our ego, the way that we identify ourselves, the way our right, this is that's what we're right allowing the sun to come in and incorporate and remember who the moon, the divine mother is, and to not allow the chaos of the thinking and the extra thoughts, forethought, afterthought, shoulda, coulda, woulda, it would be nice, right? All these, to be able to bring the energy back down, the atmosphere, and right, our temperature, and the salt water body, that's our Eve, right? Our feelings, our feminine energy, that's different than divine feminine. Divine feminine is right in the heart chakra, right? Like we're like, say, Mary Jesus, or the lotus with blue and green, or the Taurus field begins, the heart chakra extends, not the human heart, the heart chakra in the center, true north. Because I have to balance the pole from up and down. I have to be that in the middle, not on the side. On the side is Eve, right? Adam removed Eve from his rib, from the side. So what does that mean? He threw away his feelings and was like, I'm not gonna acknowledge my feelings. Right. And that can look like ego. But if someone's gone through abuse too, then that part of them got ejected out and the devil came in to protect the divine child within the skin, because a human robbed the innocence of him slash them, etc. That's how we get a demon in the first place. Balance of such natures of sentient, the balance. So right, X marks the spot. So wherever there's an X, right, like we're gonna let go. We're gonna, right, fry yay. And with love and forgiveness, because sometimes again things are attached because they're afraid. So right, there's attachments. But there's right, then there's other things that are absolute no-nos. So what's forbidden? If I have a daughter and my daughter is now thinking maybe she saw her, me and her father now in bed. And so now I went one day to go work. And when I come back home, my husband, her father, sleeping, or maybe he got drunk and passed out. And I see my daughter on top of my husband, or right? Like, so then it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Right? That would be a forbidden, right? Right. So if someone cut their feelings off, working with psychology and people with addictions and that have gone through abuse, and myself being one included, right? These stories apply to us, and right so this is where it's like, hey, we can't keep yelling at each other. So it's like, hey, it's like, wait, what did that person go through in order to that they had to hide, shut down, etc. Because we have a lot of people that appear nice and appear like they care and have the appearance that they got their shit together, but those are the ones you gotta watch out for, right? Like, they say watch out for a wolf in sheep's clothing, but this is way more Decepticon than that. This is motherfuckers that are fucking sheep and less than sheep, and only operate off jealousy and envy, which is truly just immature, codependent, etc., whatever, but it needs help healing, time, space, processing, etc. It's like when I was a drunk bitch, I had to eventually go to AA and rehab. Did I kick my way and stomp my heels 20,000 times before I actually got acclimated and totally appreciated, loved, enjoyed it, every fucking moment of it, and still practice all of those things to this day? Yeah, it was a fucking struggle, and more than a struggle and a half, and when we have such strong will and something else takes over us because we're in a depressed state of mind, our emotional body has gotten so beaten and abused, and our spiritual body is lost, and it's our soul is screaming inside, feeling like it's buried in the soil or in a basement trying to claw its way out. And every time you try, it's like something puts you on autopilot and you end up, right? Like, and then you want doing the same thing that you said you weren't going to do. You're gonna quit. You're gonna stop that thing, right? The apple in the tree, whatever that is. This could be, a lot of people have sex addiction. Why? Doesn't that make you feel better in that instant amount of time? So it's a false sense of, right? Makes me feel wanted, makes me feel etc. So it makes me feel better. But then how does it make you feel after? And if you were aware of the attachments, which I'm sure most of you are starting to become aware if you haven't been, like when they say you're with somebody and then those attachments that you when you sleep with somebody, you sleep with all the people that they slept with also. So us, like psychic, spiritual, telepath, heyoka empaths, right? That's a lot of shit that comes with a person. If we're with somebody that, right, said that they're right or what have you, and so now it's like having a whole posse with them every single time we feel that energy. It's like, whoa, we ain't alone. You got like a whole gaggle of energetic fucking like stuff with you. Like a whole, like the whole I-95 is congested with traffic, and like every 3 cars, there's some energy that's like connected, and it's like, whoa, that's a long train. That's a lot of weight to, and a lot of, right? Do you ever notice, like, why do you think about somebody, or why does something come in, right? If you've been intimate with some, it's like it's like your waters have, so now whether you've used a rubber sheepskin substance to cover your fucking shit or not, you engage. Even if you're just thinking about engaging, people watching porn, people lusting after, right, Instagram hoes, TikTok, etc., da 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 da, all that you're putting so that's gut and third eye, not crown. They want the crown. but they come from outside, so they come into the crown. That's why this is virus of the crown, corona too. And right, and the gut, that's the solar plexus and the crown chakra. So like Saturn energy, right, he knows when you are sleeping, or right, Santa comes down the chimney. Now that can also, right, as above so below, so that could be your woohoo in the front or the back too, right? Right, and the word dog backwards spells God 101, right? Woof woof. Just but, but right. Anyhow, so yeah. Oh, and just to again reference again, so when putting ourselves in other people's shoes is an important thing to do right now, but not doing it in a comparing way. Like how, okay, they've probably, we don't know what other people have gone through until, and when people base their information off history or knowledge that they've been schooled with in books and school, that's great and amazing and awesome. However, that will stunt your growth here if that's the philosophy that you're operating and building your house upon. Because the quantum world is before there's numbers. It's rhythm and vibration and sound and movement, right? Which is what most call chaos, to be fluid like water, like what Bruce Lee said, right? It's more like, okay, again, what's in the field, what's in the waters, what's in the air, right? Not this is that, and this is this, and yes I am, and no I'm not, and and then we feel bad, and then it's like nobody likes me, right? It's like up, down, all this. See, I made my whole insides like, ugh. And I know what that's like, right? So being able to learn how to breathe. We've had a lot of psyops, a lot of, right, like stories that have been put out, right? George Floyd, so, right, and there are real things going on, and then also there's things behind the things that are more important to continue to look at, because what's the message? And if that man lost his life, which those two were friends, so whether he did or he didn't, right? And losing your life also, that term is pretty loose here, because again, we want to allow what no longer serves us, our thoughts and beliefs and feelings, to flow behind us. So it's like telling ourselves, no, that's what I thought, but hold on, there's more. So I have to allow more to come in so I can see more than before, right? So just saying that to yourself, you're programming yourself, right? That's reprogramming your DNA, which is what we're doing here today and all the time anyway, right? Don't let somebody else have the remote to program your ass, right? And be grateful for what we've had in place up until this now point in time. Because it's like, right, you go to school, with my children, it's like if they didn't have rules and boundaries and etc. in line, where would the kids be? Not in school, right? So it's important to be grateful for. Now this gets into like, right, extraterrestrial, ultra-terrestrial DNA and beings and entities, which there's many here. So archons, they're like the watchers, right? That's like Java, and they're like, oh, or like, remember from the Muppet Show, they're like the sarcastic ones that are like, oh, look at this idiot today, right? Or like some people will say also, right? No offense, and don't take anything offensively, right? The Jews, right? The Jews control the money, right? So, which is true. So, and if you have an emotional, like they say back in the day, they're not going to loan you something to start a business if you're coming off at an emotional frequency. Some energy didn't like that. It's like coming through. And I ain't saying it in a derogative or negative or any kind of way. I'm just, right, just to be, so we can communicate clearly on the terms and words that are used, right? Because when people are like, don't talk about that, don't talk about that. Okay, chicken head. Listen, first of all, because you're so told, why does people say don't talk about that? Those are people that haven't still dealt with their feelings, their codependency, their immature behaviors, and they want to be right. They want to be kings. They want to take things by force and or beg for apologies. Of course, right? I'm sorry I acted that way. I didn't mean it. You know, I love you. We do, but that's enough of that repeat now. It's like, right, how they keep complaining that they're sick of watching the same reruns all the time. Well, we're sick of living the same reruns, right? It's like, yo, right, everybody got to take accountability to breathe for themselves. Stop like, oh, well, don't you have money? Don't you have whatever? It's like, okay, so once again, that gets all stripped from you because once you walk through the arc way, which says all over the door, abandon ye all hope. So once you walk through that door, it's like walking into a haunted house. You're leaving all of your material and what you thought before behind, right? Walking through hell's gates. Again, welcome to hell. Which is, again, it's like heaven is like, ooh, the things I'd like. And we've been living on earth. Now to make it through hell is like, we've all been suffering the whole time anyhow. This is just going through the shit, but you don't carry anything from the human world. Like it's still here. But anything you try to hold on to will get taken. That's how it works, because this is magnet. It's like you're learning the magnetic electronic universe. So and manifestation. So every thought, every action has an equal or opposite reaction, right? Like the hermetic law, the hermetic principles, all the law of rhythm and the law of whatever. I can't remember them all because that's not my expertise, right? As principalities. But I would definitely look into that. Like, I have knowledge of it when I look up, but that's not my thing to teach and share with you. I'm not a hermeticist, right? I'm a philosopher more so, right? So I operate philosophy and more Neptunian, more, right? A lot. It's like, okay, what do you think? Like if I'm teaching class and it's like, what do you think, class? Nobody's right or wrong. It's whatever is coming up and inside of you, that's what that is. And that's true to you in that now moment, right? Experience it, acknowledge it, allow a few more different perceptions to come in, play with it a little bit, and then let it go. And then breathe, and then remember to breathe and clear your energetic space in between things. It's just like if you're in a computer, you open tab, once you're done doing whatever you're doing, and I always have a lot of tabs open on my computer because I'm always doing multiple things at once and I'm not finished and they're all referring to each other. So I'm like, I can't close that yet. So, but once I'm done, then it's like, right, okay, now I can close that. I can close that. Now I can close that. Right. And no different than the tabs that are open in our head. Right. Oh, actually, I opened the symbol book today too, and I opened it up right to Peacock. Right. So that could be like all the thoughts we have, right? All the feathers that come up. And then peacocks are known for what? Like, right? Big, beautiful feathers, being beautiful. Which peacock is most beautiful? The male or the female? Right? Most birds, right? The male is the one that's beautiful and full of colors and like, woo. And most of the female birds are like, right, brown feathered, like, they all kind of look the same in a sense. I mean, they don't, but right, they don't have all that different, the vibrant, attractive, right? And now in human, right, walking around, it's like, right, it's like women have been looked at like, ooh, women, ooh, right? Even like, again, like I'm a woman and I'm attracted to men, but I find women beautiful, right? It's like, I appreciate the human body. I appreciate beauty in all its different aspects. So it's like, whether you're fat, thin, whatever color, right? Whatever is right, there's beauty in imperfection. I'm a big Island of Misfit Toys, representative, right? Like the underdog, But I also appreciate and respect when someone can stand in their beauty and be, right, you know, and sometimes, right, you know, it can be, right, like Beyonce wrote that song, like Pretty Hurts, right? So a lot of people sometimes think like, oh, they always have everything. They. Well, because people think that, we end up, right, we don't have nothing because, and not saying I'm not, but right, but I've been treated in a manner that's right, like kind of like that. And I never, it's like, I don't even know why people treat me that way. Cause it's like, I'm so not like that. I'm so like, I don't give a fuck whether you're like gorgeous with big boobs and whatever, or you're, and I would never into like, I've always been friends with all guys. So for me, I think 111, a lot of like girlfriends of those guys that have started dating them, like, you know, it's like I was always like their wingman. They're like my brothers. And then it's like once they start dating somebody, then it's like first they want my permission to like date my friends, which is always sometimes kind of weird too, but it's like of course, like, you know, but it's also very very beautiful, and like because they know how close I am with my friends, so it's like they, but that's how it starts. And then I become all of a sudden a bad guy, and it's like I've never even done fucking nothing to you except supported your relationship, and like I don't even intervene or like try to be a third wheel. I try to back off after like my bros fucking hook up with hopefully not just a fucking hoe, right? It's like I fucking get nothing but like, yeah, I'm fucking happy for you. Like, and I know our relationship's gonna change now because now you're dating somebody, right? So, and that doesn't mean, oh, I was fucking them before. Ew, you idiot morons. Like, that's the that's the most like um what's the word I'm looking for? So disrespectful. It's like so like it's like oh I was like talking before. It's like some people like it's like dude, those are like that's like family. And it's like for you to even say that is like offensive. It's so offensive that it doesn't even deserve a response, obviously. So whatever. Anyway, but you know, but people are going to think what they want. You know, I learned a long time ago, no matter what walk of life people come from, and no matter how respectable of a position or place that you think that they might be in, right? We all go through the same feelings, thoughts, and fucking stuff, right? Everybody got to sit down and shit and wipe their own ass, right? So not to be so vividly graphic, but right. So everybody also goes through shit and feels like shit and experiences shitty feelings and thoughts and fucks up with people that they really fucking love and fucks up with like, right, a job that they have worked so hard to attain, and then something happened and all of a sudden lost it, or a house or some whatever that goal was, right? That we tried to achieve and achieved and then maybe lost it. So now being stuck in a feeling of like, how did I do that? I made it and then lost it. Yeah, but didn't you make it? Maybe now God's trying to show you a different direction, because what you did there is going to help you with where you're going now. You didn't lose anything. You did good. Do you want to stay stuck there? Right? It's like you can't stay stuck on top forever. We make it and it's like, woohoo, right? You throw a basketball, you fucking get it in the fucking, you slam dunk. How you can only hang up there for so long, right? And you gotta come down and then move and do something else so you could acquire, hunt, and gather more knowledge about self and keep building Solomon's temple within. We already have all this stuff outside, right? It's like now the big door to Willy Wonka is going to open. It's like, so there might be some scary stuff. Remember in Willy Wonka too, they went on that boat ride and they're like, where are you taking us, Wonka? Stop the boat. Welcome to the boat ride, right? Hopefully you received and collected your coin from Sharon to make it over the boat on the river of Styx in Hades, right? If you're here, you did. And if you didn't, it's coming, or you're about to receive it as you continue going through. So I'm here to encourage you, just keep going. Just keep going. You're doing just fine and you're amazing. And remember that you're love. Everything is love. We all, why do we get upset? So when we think of things as monsters or so bad and so whatever, it's like, okay, again, but what did they go through? Right? They had to, for them to behave that way or be so defensive or not have the tools to have the ability, because I don't have all this. So it's like I have to learn from, it's like I don't know how to fucking do it. How to fucking, what I need, I don't know. It's like when I don't know, I said I don't know. It's like I need help. I don't know what I'm doing. When people are asking me to come with some deadline or do something, it's like, well, and then just Google it. Well, but if you don't have the fucking right question, you're not going to get the right answer, right? Same with the oracle. You can't just go asking God or the oracle, right? Like there's a song by the Doors, right? You cannot petition the Lord with prayer, right? Petition the Lord with prayer. Oh, I just want a pony, and I just would like I just want a biggie dip. And then are we grateful if we just get what we want? Oh, here you go. Then what do we learn? Oh, here you go. Oh, here you go. I want to get my license, but I don't know how to drive. Oh, but you have somebody that's like a father that's a cop and somebody that works on the inside. So they make a phone call. Hey, get my kid a license. He's gonna come on in. Cool, thanks, man. Oh, favors. Oh, favor. Okay, so now how dangerous is that? And that's just one little tiny little example of how many right privileged shit goes on, or people get jobs, or people are in positions they don't fucking belong in. And I don't care whether you've gone to school or not, or who the fuck you're related to, or who shook whose hand, or sucked whose dick, or married who to get where you are, and da 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 da. Take a look at all that. Take a look at all that. You know, a lot of people think they're sitting pretty right now, and right, they're pinkies up because they got a shot, they got their little vaccine card. Doesn't that remind you like of the Holocaust? Just a tad. Which I know like there's a whole big thing with whoopee and all that going on, so let me be careful with my words I use again, right? We don't want to get publicly fucking threatened by the, actually I don't give a, like I said, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. It's like good. Except I'm aware too, I got little bitches that like to call themselves witches without calling themselves that. They just like to play behind closed doors with like voodoo dolls and their pussy and like fuck everything, but not call themselves whores. So whatever, anyway. But since you like to all fuck around with everybody else's like children and men and wives, and then that's cool. I'm sure that now you feel that cauldron that you started stirring is starting to bubble up underneath you, right? Like you should have stopped when like and left well enough alone. Ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm neutral zone. I don't fucking do that shit. But again, those of you that are, it's like, do I have candles lit? Yeah, all the time. Intention, like possession, is 9/10 of the law. So the intent behind what someone's doing and where that energy is getting pushed and where it's moving through space and time, through the air waves, through the waters, through others, right? Bodies and minds, it's traveling. That's right, astral plane and through the collective and right through everything. Right? So a lot of us are actors here, right? Like when I come on, I have to do stuff impromptu. If someone's like, which my friend is like, we're trying to do some other video stuff, which I'm very interested. I love doing. It's like I'm better to do stuff for other people like that. If I'm doing it for myself, I start thinking too much and then I'm over analyzing. I'm better at just like getting on the surfboard and riding the wave. Right, 119. But that's me. But that doesn't mean that I don't also appreciate and enjoy and like sitting down, having a lesson, a meal, and learning how, right? Because I do. But if I don't have those blocks, those key, right, foundational steps, then that's a waste of time and energy for me. I'm already aware I'm going to get frustrated. Because I'm a visual person, or I need to be able to ask questions and have someone that's going to be patient and like have a conversation with me. So like where I'm like, okay, because again, philosophy for me. So it's like, okay, but if this happens, because it's like I see both sides, it's not good or bad. It's like, well, what if that happens? Then that would change, right? The variable would change then, physics. So quantum physics, which is also astrophysics, which is also metaphysics, because so within, so without, as above, so below, right? And as above, so below. And so without, so within, as above, so below. That's how that was on that other, right, for over there. Where I come from is so within, so without, as above, so below. Saturn obviously is out, right? Like the dark night. Mars. So if they're flying around in the outer atmosphere, the stratosphere, and etc., then they're so without, and they're putting the stuff in the matrix that needs to be put in, right? So without, so within, and then as above, so below. So everybody gets the message that way, right? We're all coming from all different directions, right? Which one are you coming from? And that doesn't mean that that's always the way you're going to come. And right? So for me, also energy travels like right for up from under. Other people experience it more from the side, from right, like right. When I wake up in the morning, it's like everything's like the teacup. It's like I'm getting like showered in. It's like. But when I'm experiencing energy that's coming right from the under, it comes up through us from under our. Ugh. Electricity travels from underground and comes up, and then we see it as lightning that is already gotten right as like Zeus's right bolt of light got bounced up from underground, come up, and then bam. So we see it coming down from above, but it was already brought from the under out there to then be brought in. Which right, and that's like antimatter. So that's like Anubis, Osiris, etc. Right, the father that is right. Rises in the morning with dawn, and then goes around, and then at nighttime, boom. Well, turns into a whole nother being at nighttime, right? Again, like that's the whole thing with the sun too. Don't forget, there's 3 of them: a positive, a negative, and a variable. Devil's triangle. He 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 he. Don't forget, there's 3. And that's also triangulation and what have you, which they will, right? It's again, everybody's seeing, right? A story gets presented by the snake in the tree. It's mixed with partial truth, but how could it be? So then the decision comes between you and me, right? What did the snake say? What did we hear from somebody else? Everything's a snake. Like, what did I hear? What did I witness? What did I see on TV? What did they say? Did you hear? Oh my gosh, what they say. So gossip and naysay in any kind of way. And to be believable, or history, right? School, education. Yep. The majority rule. This is what they say. This is what we learn. These are facts. Right? It's like, hey, I have an idea. And then how many people agree with my idea? Right? That's the Lord. I have an idea, making heaven. I have an idea, poof, a cloud. And now like attracts like. How many other people are going to be attracted to that thought and that idea? If I'm going to build a website, I'm going to put something out on the web. How many are going to be attracted to? I have my channel. How many are attracted to what the fuck I'm saying right now? Right? It's like as time goes by, right, more will multiply and be able to perceive, right, differently. So that we're not like, this is what and and this is like, why would I argue, right? It's like trying to teach, which I'm also the nursery in other manners. So again, always student teacher, but where I'm coming from, right? Many don't speak my language, especially over here where we're in America, which is only like 200 years old. It's a baby, 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 baby. right? Eastern philosophy, way different than over here in Westworld, right? Which WW Westworld is like Mary Magdalene or Mother Mary flipped upside down, right? Or taking Wonder Woman's outfit and running around. Lots of beings running around with the image of others' skin, right? How easy is it to Photoshop something? And I'm being taught quite a lot by, so like as far as like how, like all the how easy it is to clone a website, how easy it, right, the all those little, those things. And we're on the surface web right here, right? Everybody just uses Google, right, and Safari and whatever have you, right? Chrome. There's way deep darker, right? The spider web, way deep darker in the web. And then let me just to, you know, a lot of people have been bashing on, again, like say police and all that, and I do too sometimes, because we all deserve it. And ain't none of us fucking perfect. And there's good, bad, and not bad, positive, negative, and indifferent, and fucking messes within all of our cultures, environments, right? Home lives, work lives, nationalities, belief systems, religions, etc. I mean, that's the first step, is admitting that right there. We all need help. We're all a little handicap here, right? We all need help. And the only way that we're ever going to get through any of this misinterpretation and right, leading information and etc., that isn't necessarily misleading, unless we, the people, take responsibility for the way that we're now perceiving something, right? It's like, okay, that was said, ow, but now let me take a better look at it, right? Like, that's the name of the book. But in order for me, like, right, you ever judge a movie before you even watch it? It's like, or when we're looking to watch a movie, right? A lot of time it's like, oh, we flick through until we see, right, a picture or a name that attracts us, right? So we're magnetically gravitated and attracted to something that we think we're going to enjoy. And sometimes we can misjudge, right? It's like, I don't want to watch that movie. It looks like, or the name of it is like distasteful, like as far as like, it sounds boring or whatever. We judge it way before it, right? It sounds boring because of the name. It could be called Blue. I don't want to watch that. It sounds boring. Right. How about The Color Purple? Want to watch the movie The Color Purple? Everybody knows that one. Right. So it's like, sometimes you feel like watching some, or we may judge something, like misjudge it because of the name, and then we watch it and we're like, oh my god, that was the best movie I ever. It will. You want to watch it again? I'll watch it again. Right. But we were like, I don't know, I don't want to watch that one. I wanted to watch the other one. So we're having a little bitch fit, and then the movie was so good, right? So no big deal. We went through a fucking little, like, you know, so that kind of stuff. It's acknowledging that, you know, and that's just like, again, a little example. But how often do we do that in life with a job, a person, a place, a thing? We assume, and then that doesn't necessarily mean judging something as we're better, because a lot of the time we're coming from the I'm better and judging that that's bad, whatever that is. I would, and then we go, right, you know, it's in the reverse of thinking others have our best interest at heart and that they know what they're talking about, right? And if you do your research a little bit further, you'll see that they're maybe trying the best they can with the knowledge that they've been given, and they're lost too. And maybe they don't know how to let go of that pressure. So here, hold on, this is coming in channeling now. So, all right, hold on. This came yesterday too. It's like about jobs and bosses and those that feel like have been in a position of authority and etc. So we're gonna give them a standing floor presently to stand on. So thank you, Spirit, because we're getting some channel information now. So those beings sometimes don't have the ability because it's like having to hold everything up and have it together. Being the boss, what do we have to do next, right? Everybody's coming to them, right? Trump, a president. Anybody in any authoritative position, period. A mother, a father, a principal, a teacher, right? A guru, which careful of gurus, you know, they get stuck in the astral plane. They're like stuck in the Black Widow web with lots of honey stuck all over them. So be real careful what kind of guru or self-help life coach, spiritual, anybody that also be real cautious of beings that call themselves a fucking healer or whatever. When they start labeling themselves names and stuff, that's why it's so difficult for me to start and do any of this stuff, because it's like, because then people are like, well, you call yourself that or you say that. It's like, wait, whoa. I'm just using the words and terms that I have in order to, right, communicate in the language that we're all speaking in presently right now, right, verbally. So that's why it's like take what resonates and leave the rest. And my words aren't always going to be the proper word, because a lot of the time the words that what I'm trying to say, I'm not saying it properly. It's coming out of my mouth fucked up, you know, so to speak. It's not coming out like politically correct, or I have the wrong you know, again, like as far people like, that's not right. I'm not trying to be right. It's what's coming in. And if you want to argue with me now, you're chopping and slowing and making the flow of water and air. Like it's not it's kind of like $25,000 pyramid. A word will come in, something will come in, and it's like, and sometimes it may sound like an offensive word, and people, it's whatever's coming in through the collective. So, or that's because it's like, I don't have a fucking, as you see, how I'm talking now, I just allow it to flow in and out pretty much. And like I was talking before, now I'm right channeling and right more channeling, right? If you tell the difference, right? Like when I'm talking to you about what's right, and then which I'm still channeling before, but the information coming in now is coming in from a different source, a different frequency, a different radio station. So that's why I said right now a different channel's coming in to represent them and myself as well, because I can relate to that too. I'm a mom. I've had to, right, in many forms be that but I'm not good at delegating and things like that, not verbally. In my heart and in other places, or like when I'm presented with some, it's like, okay, well then I can, and then I can edit or see what maybe needs to be, right? I could find the problem, see where there's disturbance or imbalance in a system, in a person, place, or thing. Once I'm given partial information of a word, number, extension, vibration. Now I have something to work with. So now we're just untangling the knot. We're going through it. It's not do this and call me in the morning because this is what's going to work and this is going to heal you. And then in 5 days, you're going to feel better. And then let me know what you think. And then we'll do your cards again and I'll see what's going on with your mask. No. You can't have a plan here. If you have a plan, you're trying too hard and you're trying to be God, and you're trying to be, instead of knowing God is within you, because we are all gods and goddesses here, trying to be God is a whole different thing. Trying to be the savior, whole different thing. Acting like you're coming from a position of unconditional love and where we're already accepted that we're all perfectly imperfect, and I'm gonna get upset, I'm gonna go through things, but I at least have gone through many steps to get to where I am right now, to be able to, right, tolerate, don't take offense, some of you. Right? So it's like when we're, say, twin flame alchemists, and we're not coming from like, oh, we're better, we're higher, we're whatever. No, dumb motherfuckers. We've already fucking fallen on our face 10,000 fucking million times, and we've just learned tools throughout our journey of falling all over our fucking faces that there is tools along the way. Would you like us to share them with you, or do you want to fight about who's right or wrong about history? and get a hysterectomy. I don't know. Go get a shot then. Go do a shot. Go get a shot. You want to take a shot at me? I don't know. Say it ain't so. Don't shoot the messenger. Oh, so yeah. And again, right, say, and again, referring even to twin flame alchemist, that's the best way I can describe what I am and what I do, because I can take you through positive and negative thoughts and feelings, right? Our masculine and feminine, where we're going through different balancing our emotions with our thoughts and our thinking, learning how to clear those bodies, right? Our emotional body is different than our mental faculties. And our mental faculties are similar, but subdivisions of, right, the mind. Mind is different than the mental space. Universe is mental, right? To expand out into the mind, right, is to soar through space and time, right? So a little bit of a different vibrations. They're subtle, right? Similar but different. Like, right? And we have our spiritual body, our etheric body, our astral plane body, right? Our physical body. And I'm sure there's more that I didn't just say, but you get the picture, right? So balancing out those frequencies, right? Our chakra system with, right, the aura that surrounds our physical body and skin. So there's, again, right, the electromagnetic field. That's kind of like your Vimana bubble, right? That the torus field. So it's like a bubble that travels through space and time. Everything's water, through the waters, right? Put it this way, like your physical body, how are you able to walk around upon the earth, right? You're not stuck to the ground. We don't float away, right? There's a magnet inside the middle of the earth that holds us down, right? Our heart chakra is like that, like the flex capacitor, the magnet that holds us here. So we're able to move freely through space and time, right? And as we continue to open up and expand our minds and clear out all the clutter, right? Which is, again, twin flame alchemy, going through thoughts and feelings, belief systems, positives and negatives, right? Old reruns that run through our head, right? Learning how to calm that train of thought that goes choo-choo and goes there was a big derailing yesterday, right? So it goes derailing off the tracks, or is just repeating, right? Like in circles, right? So allowing ourselves to be more free is how we come out of slavery. We have to first make that conscious decision first to say, okay, I'm willing to look and think at things a different way. So I'm just going to allow that to come in today. And that's it. And just allow a little bit at a time. There's no finish line. There's no race. Don't let nobody force you. Or if you feel uncomfortable about something, it's okay to say not today or not right now. Because in a few moments, like, right, I would like to, but I'm not sure I feel about that. But I would like to be able to not have such a negative feeling with that thought. So see, I just told myself. So I gave the universe and, right, spirit and what have you, along with myself, I'm acknowledging what I'm feeling, and I'm not, doesn't mean I have to do anything, except I would like to be able to have not such a negative vibration associated with whatever that is. Can you please bring that to me in a little bit more clearer form, so I have a different view, a better, not better, another perception, just more, so I can see more clearly, so I can expand my, right, point of view. So I'm not thinking and feeling so negatively about a person, place, or thing, or you. Right? Because that's not what I want. If there's a feeling and a thought that's coming up mixed with that, it's like, oh, why do I feel that way? Or why is that what's that? So it's like, what is all that? So it's just like, can I have some more clarity or information? Please bring some more information to me on that, because that makes me feel like, fuck is that? And then I go about my business and do whatever I'm doing, because I already put my little 2 cents in. So now I let that go. And then throughout my day or my week or my life experience, whenever the time is right, I get brought more knowledge and information. Or I end up living, because I went to go do something, then I go to the store, and then during my venture, I experienced something that had to do with the question I was asking, or see somebody that, and then I got it's like, whoa, whoa. So by doing that, and then just going about by being you, that's the best way that we continue moving through. We get stuck in analysis paralysis, which I'm famous for too. Not a good way. It's like, I don't know, we overthink. We beat ourselves up the most. I can't do it. Nobody likes me. I'm not gonna, forget it. Blah, blah, blah. But what if? But what if? But what if? Forget. And then then that door closes. And then we lose that opportunity. And then we're like, damn, I knew I should have done that so long ago. That, how many, all that. Can you raise your, are you with me? Have you ever, yeah? Have you ever? High five. Oh my God. Right? So we get Sunday, we are like, bark, bark, chickens, trying something new, right? I'm gonna go work out at the gym. I'm too fat to go to the gym. Or I don't want people looking at me, or I don't know how it's gonna be, or what all all the things that we work ourselves up with any what if, and what about. So we can get ourselves stuck in something, like being stagnant by all those thoughts and feelings, which then in turn makes us sick internally, because then we're at dis-ease. We're not at ease. So now our vibration is off. Now we're like, so now people call themselves names. They say that they have, anxiety. They have all these different things that they need to take a pill for. Well, hold on. And that might have been so up until this point in now time. And I ain't telling you to stop taking anything. So I ain't your doctor, and I ain't giving no medical information as far as all that fucking shit goes. So please do not go quoting metaphysical mama saying, she said, blah, blah. Not here. Don't do that here. Because that's an absolute no. Don't do that shit here. However, but if you've believed that and taken things and medicine, think of that word, meta, and sin. Demigod sin, Meta, M-E-D backwards, D-E-M, devil likes to jumble letters, and demigods, calling themselves healers, false doctrine, false profiting, false prophets, making money off of killing people to build rockets. 144. Ooh. That's a gate in the door. And I say nothing about all doctors are bad again, No, absolutely not. Most doctors, again, go in it because they love to help and take care of people. But then, like a teacher, but then where's your freedom go? Oh, we have to do it this way. Oh, but if you don't do that, well, you can't say that. Well, you can't do that. You got to do it our way. Okay. So now, since we have such a huge organ trafficking, sex trafficking, human trafficking, prostitution trafficking, slave trafficking, food, filling, doctored, traffic, all this, whatever, traffic, causing congestion, causing there to not be fluid flow, causing, right, people to stay stagnant and remain running around in a circle like a fucking dog chasing his tail, keeping people asleep so that they're not able to see properly where they need to go. It's like if you're driving around on autopilot, you could like, right, you put your car in like on, like you're driving from like say East Coast to down, going down south a little, going down to Florida. You could throw a cruise control on, right? Nice and flat. You don't gotta really like, you know, as long as there's no traffic, you could cruise. Cruising. But only so long you can cruise, right? And you know what they say, cruising for a bruising. And curiosity killed the cat. But they like it like that. They like the liquor. Sorry, that was disgusting. But you know, the V marks the spot. The virus marks the spot. But you can go get a shot and then pretend that it'll be all better because they control the weather. They like to play the harp. They stole it from the start, Jack and the Beanstalk. After they killed Art. Isn't that our Father who art in heaven? Oh. So why would they continue wanting to kill people but tell them that they're helping them, right? Because they wanted the God gene, right? But it's all fine. We're all here to help everybody. But when somebody steals stuff and like keep, right, or has committed a murder, isn't the story of Cain and Abel, murder, right? And so didn't God say, I still hear my son crying? I can still, right? And then people worship and idolatrize and like have a religion that they, Jesus, that they drink the blood. And isn't Jesus the same as Beelzebub? So he would have had to have been murdered, right, in order to come back and for others to drink his blood, right? And who turned the water to wine? Uh-oh, drunken time. This is what it's about. This is the story. Cheers. Yep, that's what it is. And they heard what they said. They said. So now we have he said, she said. So here's devil again. The word said, S-A-I-D. If you jumble those letters up, let's throw them up in the air. Spells AIDS. Isn't that the disease of the blood? Bitter waters of wormwood. Right? Alcohol is called spirits for a reason. So if the water was turned to wine and motherfuckers got drunk and say rape, murder, whatever happened, right? I'm just aware I'm one of the motherfuckers that got murdered way back then. So, right? Do we raise the dead? I don't know. We all come back somehow. I don't know. Do you? Do you know? You might know. Do you know? Do you know this whole time? Are you in on it? Some do. I don't know who was lingering. I hope you're, either way, I'm grateful you're here. I hope you're great. I hope you're getting what you need, deserve, and equal opportunity employers here. So when being, that's what's been going on, which again, we're here to help, but we're not here to be taken from, harmed, murdered, threatened, have our children taken, have, right, like all this bullshit be put on us in order to, right, it's like just stay in the corner tied up while because, right, somebody else came in our house, ties us up, and tells us that they're going to make breakfast. They're going to take our house. It's now theirs. We don't have a choice. So they just took our free will. But they're going to make us a meal. They're going to make us breakfast still. Are they nice? They might very well be. I mean, there's been a lot of situations where things like that have occurred and people were running from something and they had to do something like that. And then the person that does something like that, those two fall in love. There's been crazier stories. But when people are operating off envy and greed and jealousy, right? The green-eyed monster, the green dragon core, the green, there's a few different, right? Lores. So now we got to turn that wine back to water, clear waters, purifying the waters from the vine. So not everyone is running around with drunken alcoholism, which is a behavior. It's an ism. Just comes from it's Adam and Eve in the garden. That's it. It's from thinking or feeling, right? Feeling something might be a good idea, then harming another, then that maybe see there's blanks there for because I'm Lily Spectrum. Lilith. So I don't there's I can't see there like that. There's it's like Mad Libs. There's stuff missing in the code. There's discrepancies, or just again, right? Not necessarily discrepancy, but just a blank. There's nothing there. So, until brought the rest of that information, I can't really, I can only go by, like, again, the base knowledge that I have. And internally, again, right? Internally, what that means, again, the Eve's is feelings and Adam's is our thoughts, right? Masculine, positive, negative, variable. Eve is our emotional body, our salt water body. The little O, Omicron, right? Also represents part of that, which is also surrounding the gut or abdominal area. So again, Nephthys and Set come together. That's husband and wife. I remember Set wants Osiris as well. Again, Adam, Eve. So jealousy, I'm coming from the other end of, right? The grass always looks greener on the other side type thing. Again, going into green-eyed monster or green with envy, etc. And how many shades of green are there? And very, very different, the vertical vibration of green than the horizontal. The vertical vibration but horizontally different. Up and down, that's like right tower. Up and down the pole, up and down, yeah. Right, think the green grass grows all around, and the green grass grows all around. So green going up and down, like a stem, but if there's stem cell, again, being stalkers. So right, again, metaphysics. So the right, green grass grows all around on the ground, and it grows up from the trees on the leaves, right? Then the leaves change color and they fall off the trees. So again, putting things into like philosophy, like perceptions, like being able to, it's like, oh, and then going back the other way, and then right, allowing things to flow. Like learning what planets you're associated with, what comes into your mind frequency, or different, say, extraterrestrial, ultra-terrestrial beings. The names of things might start coming to you, write them down and do a little research, or the research and the answers are within you, because we all have cellular data memory. So the best place to find knowledge of thyself is within thyself. And then you'll be guided within thyself to look further outside to see what else you need to build the inside. See, now you're working together with your Christ child inside rather than being a little devil. Because when others are like, oh, and and whatever, it's like, okay, you're calling somebody else something, but you're behaving in that manner. So you're actually behaving in the devil Satan vibration or Jezebel or whatever, right? It's like, or whatever have you, right? And so, and that's like, for me, I don't give up because, like, obviously, that's why it's like, I don't mind coming on here saying, because, yeah, I'll vibrate in all fucking vibrations. Whatever vibration I need to vibrate in the now fucking present moment is what I'm gonna vibrate in, and I'm not gonna lie about it or pretend it's gonna be something different. It's like, even when I feel it's like, oh, something's about to, it's like, this might, like, I try to apologize because I don't know what's about it. I could just already feel it. It's like, oh, or it's like, and I don't like people mad at me or feeling upset with me, right? So again, I still have part of that people pleasing part in me too. However, it's not really that. At this point in time with me, it's more about I'm respectful of all vibrations and I'm aware I can't please everybody. So I'm always going to upset somebody. You can't make everybody happy, right? If you'd like to talk to me about why you're upset, totally, I'm more than willing to, right, hash it out, or not hash it out like, meaning let's throw shit on the table so we can take a look at, like, where that, right, that tug of war, where that's coming from. Because most of the time it's misperception coming from one direction or the either or both, right? So how do we get through anything? Well, we have to agree to take the time and the space to acknowledge it and put the energy into it and do something about it. And that could be just like taking time to think about it and allowing myself, like, you know what, I'm feeling like, once we feel if you acknowledge when you feel negative about something, that's first start right there. Or start having negative thoughts. It's like, okay, wait, why am I feeling that? Because I'll talk some shit and it's like, all right, but right, most of the time it's because I feel less than, or I don't know something. So it's like my perception of it is like, oh, big scary. It's like the big scary, right? Like hell or Satan or the devil. At first, our first, or Jesus or Santa Claus. What's the first perception, the first thought, the first vision that comes in your head when I say those things? Is that true? Part of it, partially, yeah, right? But is that how God, right? Well, that's our first thought. That's that Cain, right? And so that's negative, meaning I don't have to follow that one because that leads to death, destruction, and murder. I have to allow that thought to come back in and play with it within my own skin to let that vibration bounce around in my garden so that I'm able to bear fruit off of my tree of life that I'm living in. Right? So it's just allowing who we already are and the perceptions and the terms of the words that we use. It's like, oh, that's what it means. And then we have a reaction. It's like, okay, wait. All right, tag, I'm it. I had a reaction. Now I have to tag myself. And why did I have a reaction? Why is that? And then I have to, sometimes it's like, okay, maybe, right, I'm being tested, meaning, right, matrix. So we're all being tested. So, okay, I got a reflection of myself, or it's the polar opposite of my duality. So I'm having to confront my polar opposite, right? Or buried parts of me that may have been harmed or gotten gotten scared, afraid as a child. So they ran away and hid. And it's like, no, they can't come out again, or nobody can know that, or da 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 da, right? It's like, But those are the things that have formed us. So if we haven't acknowledged them, it's going to feel uncomfortable as they come up. So this is where we go through our shadow side or dark night of the soul. Those are different terms of words that we use, right? Going through hell, going through, I guess, Kemet, they're saying, right? Osiris, the Egypt under the halls of Amenti and etc. So being brought down into the underworld, in that manner. So if you're from like upper, lower Egypt, Kemet, that might be your, right? Everybody has a different path in order to get brought down, right? To become, we're already on it. We're already all fallen. Say start. We're already all fallen. So now to get brought down into the underworld, like Persephone or Osiris and right, Isis, Horus, and right, be then re-risen. So having to go down into the dark, see the dark side of ourselves, acknowledge all these things, right? How many movies and books and etc. have we been brought up with that you can relate with, so that, right, bring those things into your personal experience? Because remember, the most important thing truly is to be childlike. Use your childlike imagination while letting spirit be your guide. Holy Spirit be your guide. God's not confusing. Anything is confusing is not of, but it's look, we're gonna be confused because Eastern philosophy come with Hinduism, Buddhism, Confucius. So there's a lot of that, right? Like, and that underground is like the Moors and Mr. Crowley, right? And Nicholas Flamel and the Philosopher's Stone or the Sorcerer's Stone. And then that can go into like King Arthur and Knights of the Round Table and the Templars and then the Draconians and the, right, Zeta Reticuli and the Greys and the tall whites and the small whites and, right, and binary star system and 4 worlds, which 202 crisscross applesauce. Yo, it's lit. It's lit. It's lit. Firecracker, firecracker, boom, boom, boom. The perception of the word death, too. You know, again, death and rebirth, or dying, you know, connecting with the star system, the star beings that we are. And a lot of beings have been here for a long time. So, of course, God, right, and or themselves, meaning themselves, right? Do they want to be alone? Absolutely not. Look at like Tom Hanks in Castaway. Wilson, you're going to make something to not be alone. If you're completely alone, you may even cut off your own leg and turn your leg into your, right, a bone friend, right? Black Panther. Speaking of Tom Hanks. Forrest. Sorry to ruin your Black Panther party. They're like, who the fuck is it? He's just like, hey. But did I love him? Buffalo Soldier. So, you know, being lonely, everyone just wants to be loved and accepted. And if we feel abandoned, neglected, not loved, not accepted, different, you know, nobody's ever going to like me, etc. Again, sometimes we got the otter and buffalo again. So 3 times buffalo came out. So they want to definitely stay out. And we got the hawk, number 2, Hawkeye. So lots of spies, lots of hawks flying around. Yeah. First, yeah, the hawk always give it's like yeah, Hawkeye, little spy. Like, I have to read more about the hawk, and again, it's not always negative, but there's some, right, there's an entity being or someone that call himself a friend that don't really didn't have nice intention, that is associated with this bird, because otherwise I wouldn't get that vibration, I wouldn't get that feeling. It's associated with a Pisces / Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. But they mimic Scorpio, Aquarius, Taurus cusp Gemini, Venus. And Venus is another word for Taurus, but Taurus could be the male part. So there's people in the middle month of Taurus, not toward the end month, or vice versa, where your Aries Taurus, different than your mid, right? Midsummer's Night Dream, mid Taurian. But that's what that's that's what's coming in right now. So take what resonates, leave the rest, whatever that all, it might mean something to you too. Anything else? Same, blue. Not finance. What I said before is like, right, make an example out of like a book or whatever the hell I said before, but I'm not, yeah, they're confirming. But so blue, the color blue. What else, Spirit? Because this has to do with the beginning of the reason I wrote the title. It's lit and like busted. You know, the cops didn't all just show up outside the window here where I reside. Like it was a big, huge sting. Like, yo, there was like fucking 20 cop cars outside here, DEA and all that. And they were like, they got out there, guns at it, you know, freeze, get out of the car. I was like, oh my goodness. So that was and again, you know, I will say kudos to those that were all here that did that. Whether that was a and no, they took somebody. Even if maybe that was like a maybe it was a setup thing, like a Matrix. It was all a setup. It was all a dream. They just stunted it outside my window to, like, you know, play Matrix on me. Remember that movie True Lies with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jamie Lee Curtis? Oh, it's such a good one. And she's like, she was so bored with her life, and so like her freaking, she started like if you've never seen that movie, definitely watch that movie. Ooh, and The Game with Michael Douglas, because there's a lot of things, not all things are as they appear, Alice. So while we make it through hell and Wonderland and like their Matrix and like, right, agents and Neo and Trinity, you're like, it's like it was all a dream. And the witchery and the haunted house and the, right, the spacecraft, spaceships, and the, right, the yiggly things, the creepy crawly things, the different vibrations you get to go through Dark Night of the Soul. It depends, right? Who you, whatever you, like, you know, those are just some of the things. Like for me, one time I had to like lay like in the ether, like, so like because bugs have always freaked me out, like since I was little. So it's like, not that I don't like something sometimes, it's just, right, if I get scared, I don't know something, then it's like, ah. So my reaction, and then I may scare it away, and then it thinks I don't like it, and then now we have like a right. So sometimes we need to be reintroduced to certain vibrations that we've freaked out about, or we've had negative thoughts and feelings about. And creepy crawlies are one of them for me, big time. And I still don't like them. I'm not like, oh yeah, now I love bugs. Oh no, I love reptilians. I love lizards. I love animals. I love dogs, wolves, cats, etc. All animals, bugs, ladybugs and lightning bugs, butterflies and caterpillars, any other bug. I still, it makes my heart skip a beat and beat really fast. And I try, but I'm like, I still, it still gives me that feeling. So I'm working on it, but I definitely still have a lot of fear backed up behind bugs. I even like spiders. So yeah, because they kill bugs. I'm like, you could stay, because I know if a bug comes along that shouldn't be here, you'll get him for me. Then I don't have to kill him and feel bad that I killed him. It's like, yeah, so depending on what kind of spider it is, of course. Because I wouldn't be saying that if I was in some tropical arena and it was like, you know, I got a brown recluse or whatever. And it's like, no, you ain't staying in my bed under my sheets with me. Thank you very much. Jezebel, incubus, succubus. Anyhow, hoodoo voodoo. And bitches doing hoodoo and using voodoo dolls. Yo, I hope you're all aware that we are being used as little decoy deer. So you're all fucking busted. They've been watching you all for a long fucking time. And whatever you all been doing, you're being watched, watching us and doing what you do. And it's already in the judicial system, boo-boos. So have a good weekend, right? Like, and yeah, or whatever time that is, because the time is always now, that this is for you. If you're one of them, know that, right? You're being watched. I'm aware I am. I'm grateful. I'm grateful I am. Thank you so much for all eyes on me that are watching and making sure that I'm safe. Which all you bitch asses with your fucking disgusting, immature, rude boy frequencies. And that's whether you're a female or a male. You're a dog. Woof. You're a rude boy. That's why female dogs are called bitches. Bitches. Sorry. And it's kind of funny that dog is the next card. Except them my favorites right there. I love dogs. Oh, and look under that. Ribbit. Which, right, the rib. What was made from the rib? And it, like the clown. And what does the frog say? Ribbit. Oh, stop it now. Break it down. Break it down. Saturn's like a record player. Put the needle on the record. Repeat, going around and around. That's like, it's like a record playing in the corner of a room and replaying and replaying. That's like what history is. And replaying. And then it just changed the vibration, the narratives, the names, etc. Places, people, names may change. But the song remains the same kind of thing. 212. So coming out of that round and round, you gotta jump into the dark side of the moon. Welcome to the dark side of the moon. If I don't see you next Tuesday, I'll see you soon. And then next we got fishies, dolphin and salmon, which is fucking coolio. Because where there's sharks around humans, the dolphins always come. So again, you know, and I'm so grateful for all eyes on me. I know that right back at you, like love surround and protection surrounding you. Because what I can't see, I know you all see. And what you're not aware of that I feel, I do my best to bring it out in the most natural, raw, immediate, right, first responsive way, with humble ability that I can, you know, to know it's real, right? Israelites, lost tribes, we all doing a little something different, but we all doing what we can, right? It's like barrel of monkeys. So again, even all the shit I talk, again, not always flip flop, because nobody can always be talked about shit all the time, right? It's like we all have good and shitty qualities and immature qualities and things that we're virgin to and don't know, and ignorance, and I'll say stupidity just for the right, like, hell of it, because right, we in hell. But ain't no, like, you know, stupid is as stupid does. And that's more like you've already, if like you already been given whatever information and you keep choosing, you chose to keep saying fuck it, I don't give a fuck, I don't care, oh, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care, and be like, da, da, da. Okay, well, listen, that's cool. We ain't even mad at you, because we're aware you don't care. Because how can someone care that decided to cut off their feet, right? That they're not going to feel. They're going to just stay up in their head instead. So we can't expect someone that has either gone through, again, abuse, or just doesn't have that ability, or has, right, again, been hurt, or the pain was so bad that they put it away. And so most have been, right, addicted to, you could be, right, at work, figuring out how to fix something, why people keep getting hurt, because the pain was so bad, you don't want to go through it again. So you guys aren't bad or wrong. Of course, we want to fix and heal and help everybody. But hanging on to worry and those and determination and bitter waters, or relentless, right? Like banging the head against the wall, right? The think we can get too stuck in our like what, like, oh, right, all, and then our gut gets like upset, it's like, right, and then we have to, right, then it's survival mode, so fight or flight, escapism, etc. So that takes a little, right, gingerness, because it can be really easy for us to get upset and mad at that vibration by feeling that that vibration doesn't want to listen to us, or doesn't care about us, or, right, but they do care, but you can't expect them to give you what you need. This is typical narcissist empath, okay? However, don't call them a narcissist. As far as, are they in that behavior? Yes. But what does that mean? It goes way deeper than calling somebody and stick labeling a name on somebody. They had to have gone through some really deep, heavy experiences, right? And not been, or just gotten pulled out of, right, innocent, and had to, again, had very negative experiences. And again, I'm still going through those things too, so I can relate. But we all have different levels, vibrations, right, degrees, volumes, situations that we've experienced that put us in that state of mind or state of being. So that's like a dog that's been beaten all the time, and then you go to try to save that, to look at all the animals that are, right, like abused, and like, right, and then they go sell, like, oh, whatever, there's abuse everywhere. But just an example, say a dog gets abused all the time. Now if we take that dog, we save it, we bring it home, that dog isn't going to be like, oh yeah, woohoo, woohoo, right away. It's going to be cautious. It's going to be unsure, because again, that's like what we were talking about before. Something that appears to be nice, like it's going to take care of you, but then it feeds you, but then it beats you. Or say like molestation into a person, right? Like that's like such a confusing thing, because with people, it generally happens with people that we know, or that are mentors or family members, or, right, some kind of an authority to us that we're supposed to trust. Sometimes our parents know them, our parents trust them. So if we've been violated by someone we've trusted in the most, right, in the most violating way possible, right, and then we feel like or maybe we have said something and then they didn't believe us, right? Or we were told not to say anything, and because that kind of felt good, that confused us, because now we're not sure, that we know that was bad, but something felt good. So how does a child process that? Things to think about before we go running around calling everyone all these names, right? The cure is, here, the next card, slowing down a little, because slow and steady wins the race. Because if we're just assuming people have no feelings, they just don't give a fuck, they don't care. And I could be guilty of that too. Cause what's like when I'm not understanding, it's like I'm so caring and I'm trying, it's like, and I have a lot of experience with narcissism, abuse, molestation, addiction, being abandoned, being neglected, having people, right, be passive aggressive, appearing nice, but they're doing something that is not nice, that makes you, and then you start to question yourself. They're the ones that are, right, causing confusion, giving mixed messages, acting nice, but doing something that causes harm to the divinity of the being, the consciousness of another being. This could be a plant, an animal, everything has consciousness. So our consciousness remembers things before we've been in human skin and etc. that have gone on, right, without and within. So certain things we're all witnesses to, or we've had to experience in order to relate. So, or we're repeating the story so we know the truth of what everything means in the now, because the time is always now and the proof is in the pudding. So as we are all going through, again, just like let me send love to you too, because you may have had similar experiences. So it's very important to acknowledge that and know that you're not alone, right? Whether it's somebody that got you to, right, come over to America from your country and give you all these false promises of the American dream, and then you're separated from family, and your daughters were had to, right, go do disgusting sexual things in order to, right, figure out how you're gonna whatever here, and you're stuck, right, cleaning all these rich white people's houses or whatever. And I mean, it's like the lists go on and on. You know, people get told to come here and they get, right, lured with the dream, and again brought to a military or a navy base, right, Shangri-La or something, I don't fucking know. So yeah, so let's, right, their goal is what? Divide and conquer. So let's have a virus. Let's have a V, right? Another V to make it look like we have a cure. We care. Let's raise a bunch of money. Now let's raise a bunch of money for COVID relief fund too. And then let's not give it to the people that need help, right? One of the senators or mayors went and spent like $60,000 or $600,000 at Mohegan Sun with the first COVID relief money that was released, and it's still not being used for the people, which the people are the ones that paid for it, which the only reason the senator, et cetera, all have a paycheck is by the people for taxes, which the only reason we pay taxes are if we're in war. So if they keep repeating the narrative of the bubonic plague and the black plague and the Spanish plague and blah, 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 because I can get into it. I can get real deep state into it if we all want to like pull out like facts and knowledge and like repeat narratives from like space and time where things have been altered and repeated and the vibrate. Like I got all day, all night. I'm totally, absolutely, totally down. Let's do it. Let's do it. Please, let's do it. We are doing it anyhow, but like it would be nice, right, to have like the cooperation needed. How are we all going to succeed if people aren't willing to let go of that American dream? It's like you're grabbing onto somebody else's daughter saying it's okay. Oh, I'm allowed to rape her. Oh, I'm gonna keep on doing it. Okay, so you're gonna keep funding war. That's what you're telling. You're gonna keep working a job as a slave to fund building nuclear rockets so that we can have more war rather than acknowledging internally the war inside oneself. Okay. But you want us to look up to you with respect and listen to what you're trying to force down our throats and in our face, but you're not willing to have a conversation without threatening or running out, again, threatening, right? Flight or flight response, right? Or making some kind of ultimatum, or again, proving by the reaction and responses that you do or don't have, by being unwilling to, right, sit the fuck down and have an open conversation, open source, with an open mind, so that not everyone is operating off all this confusion and disillusion, and, right, he got my bigger piece of cake and I wanted the girl with the blonde hair and he has a bigger dick, and now I thought I wanted that one. Now I don't. Oh, right. And then they just want all of them. And maybe they'll just like have this one and that one on the side and then wonder why life is all messy. Yo, Jekyll and Hyde. Nowhere to run to, baby. Not this time. No, no, no. You hear that? That keeps coming in the. That keeps coming up in the vibrations too. What's his name? Mutombo? No, 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 not today. My battery is about to pass away. So there we go. Anyhow, so yeah, getting back into the military thing, I'm gonna go because I'm gonna lose. My thing is, I have to like put it in a certain position in order for it to charge. So it's not gonna do that. It ain't gonna cooperate presently, which is all right, because I'm already 2 hours 16 minutes in, which is a pretty long time. Don't you think? Anyhow, yo, I appreciate you coming and hanging out so much. We all in this together. You know, military too, and everybody that's still working a job and paying taxes, ew, right? And everything else. Because again, you don't know. If you don't know, now you know. You know, once you know, you can't go back. So once we start to like see things, you know, when we're ignorant to it, we don't know. And sometimes it needs to come at us as a shock, or like or right? Because otherwise we're never gonna fucking take a look at it. Are we? Us humans hate change. We hate that shit. We'd rather just like, even if we're miserable, it's like, nope, I don't care. I don't make enough money, but I know what I know what's gonna happen. I know who's involved with my life. I know what to expect from them. I know where I'm right, my surroundings. I know da da da. So we're like, no, me too. I do it too all the time. I get so nervous of change. Yeah, this ain't gonna work. So anyhow, I just started busting on all you guys as far as like, yeah, government taxes and military go. And love you all. Don't be getting mad and flagging me because I'm using those words, you know. You ain't nothing so special just because you like are wearing a certain like acronym. Undercover. Undercover motherfucker. Oh, now they're gonna flag me for swearing too. I gotta watch it. Flags and signs everywhere on these poles and freaking squares. But money is rectangular like a coffin. It needs to be backed by something. Otherwise, it got to go back in the box. Monopoly. You do not pass go. You do not collect $200. We're going on to bigger and better things. Not like, so don't even fight about it. Yo, it's like, take that shit off and jump in the water. Ah! And again, like I said, welcome to hell. All right, I'm going to charge this a bit and I'll be back on after, maybe, possibly. I'll be back on eventually. But, you know, like I said, I make a plan and it don't happen. So, peace for now. Love you all. Thank you so much for hanging out. Please like, subscribe, and hit the belly. Also, hopefully, I'll get that shit up. And otherwise, I don't know, maybe I'll have a few more names. I got a few more things going on as well, little side projects. So Keep creating. Co-create with spirit. Be you. And leave everything at the door. Because that's what you got to do. Leave it all. Let it go. We'll always have what we need. And that you don't have to doubt. And again, nothing like God's not confusing, like really the internal part. So if you're confused, just remember, ask for clarity. And it's okay. Never wrong to be silent or take time and space when you're in anxiety. It's like, okay, you're going to feel like you need to do something now. But do you? That's just the feeling. Allow that to calm down. Breathe both ways, in and out. Close your eyes if you have to, and you're in a safe place to do so. And then it'll either pass, or then you'll be able to see more clear, hear more clear, or be given a vision to have more clarity there. Yeah. All right. On up. Peace out.